I welcome mortal class to Orsinium.
Remember to check the list. We have very specific needs here at the House of Orsimer Glories. Distinctive portions of history that we want to put on display. You mean as curator? That's an interesting story. I guess you could say that I'm a city orc. Born and raised in Wayrest, educated at the finest Breton academies. King Kurog and I met during his travels, and when he offered me this museum, I said yes.
You can't lock us out of our inn. That's tyrannical.
You should have thought about that before you helped the enemies of our king. Now get out of my way before I toss you in a cell too.
This wretched mountain will... You again. You make a habit of showing up when my lady needs you. Suppose that means we're gonna make another attempt to reach that wretched summit after all. Go present yourself to my lady. She should be coming down the trail at any moment. This is Sorrow. Apt name, don't you think? The House of Orsimer Glories in Orsinium engaged my lady's services to find the shrine of Tora Groigron. It supposedly waits at the snowy top. No one's attempted to climb it in years, yet here we are. Only if you consider vile beasts, freezing winds, and falling ice to be a problem. We tried to climb the mountain 3 times now, and each failure was more spectacular than the last. If you're interested, Lady Laurent could really use the help. This expedition has really proved to be more troublesome than Lady Laurent anticipated. I hate to say it, but I think this time Sorrow might be more than she bargained for. Famous treasure hunter. I'm sure you've heard of her. We travel the land searching for hidden treasures, secret relics, and other mystical things. I'm not at liberty to tell you much about our work, but it's very important. The House of Orsimer Glories. It's Orsinium's fledgling museum. They hired experts like my lady to scour the countryside for ancient relics related to Wrothgar's history, to display them. Instant culture for the tourists, you see. Legends claim that a powerful relic was buried with Orsinium's founder. At Torug's shrine, my lady hopes to find the armlet of Torug, the bracelet that gave him the power to tame the wilderness. Now, if only Karsten would stop arguing with her. Karsten works for the museum and has been serving as our liaison and cultural expert. It has become clear that he and my lady disagree about a great many things. He's really beginning to try Lady Laurent's patience, I'm afraid to say.
That should come in handy.
Together now!
Damn you, Karsten. How am I supposed to make a great discovery when... Oh, hello! I was just thinking about you. You do have a habit of showing up whenever I need help. Perchance you've brought a small army with you as well? Just you? Well, I was hoping for porters and guides and all, but I suppose that I can make do. I'll need to make a few slight adjustments to my plan, but this time we'll reach the Summit of Sorrow, I'm sure of it. The last 3 times, you mean? We set up one camp, but the harpies in the icy wind cut us down each time we climbed higher. A few orcs even wandered into a chasm because they couldn't see more than 2 paces ahead in the fog. Ooh, it all upset me so. To start, head up and present yourself to Karsten while I go check on my lazy manservant Stibbins. We'll meet you up there. And remind Karsten who it is that's actually in charge of this expedition. He can be so uncooperative at times. Why are you still here? Do you need directions or something? We're not just talking.
Right behind you, partner. Work with me!
Who in the name of Malakath's third tusk are you? Don't you know this is sacred ground? Besides, it's also one of the most dangerous places in all of Wrothgar. You shouldn't be wandering around up here. Oh, she did she? I hope you know what you're getting into. Harpies and ogres are bad enough, but the true challenge of Sorrow is the mountain itself. The wind cuts like a sword, and the freezing mist blinds you. But that's not the worst. Avalanches! Sorrow wields her snow and ice with terrible precision. I've seen strong orcs swept right off the side like scoring a slaughter in 7-pick knockdown. We tried 3 times and lost most of our expedition. We're all that's left. To be honest, I'm not sure. We barely made it this far before we got separated from the others. If you could look for our companions, that would be helpful. Regardless, we have to find Torug's shrine or all these sacrifices will be for nothing. The good orcs, each and every one of them. Expert climbers. But Sorrow isn't an ordinary mountain. Best way to find them? They should have placed markers to indicate avalanche areas. Just follow the markers.
Stivets, don't you dare put down that firewood. It won't do us any good if it gets wet.
You make a sound point, milady.
That's it. Are you hurt? For glory!
I knew this mountain was going to be the death of us. No, don't waste your time. I'm done for. An avalanche broke both my legs, but I no longer feel any pain. Sorrow is a harsh mistress, and her embrace is cold and deadly. The others, they went on ahead to seek shelter. Don't look so shocked. I'm dying. If they tried to help me, none of us would have survived. Go. Find them. They need your help. More than I...
It's got it!
Wait, what's this? Fascinating. Most of the monuments up here are inscribed with 3-stanza epitaphs. It was a common practice. This rubbing appears to be Tarug's first stanza. It's written in Old Orcish, proclaiming the memorial's inaccessibility. They found Tarug's shrine! Well, obviously they found the shrine higher up on the mountain. As to why they came here to die, I have no idea. Maybe the cold or a lack of supplies drove them down. Or they were coming back to meet us. Let us know that they reached the shrine. Let me translate this rubbing. No looters, no lesser orcs. Remarkable. We should try to find the other 2 stanzas. If I can read the entire epitaph, it might point us to the location of the armlet of Torug. After that, we'll see.
Those poor orcs. Stibbins, be a dear and bury them.
Don't be ridiculous. They died well. Leave them where they fell.
Leave them? Out in the open? How barbaric.
Orcs don't bury their dead. And these are the first orcs to rest on sorrow in generations. We won't steal that honor from them.
Fine. You are the expert, after all.
Use my power! Come on, get out of there! paralyzed. Don't think. Move!
I think they found the third stanza, my lady.
Quiet, Stibbins! There might still be ogres about. Quickly, Karsten. What does it say?
Let me take a look. Torog wasn't pleased that they built his shrine below the summit. He wanted to rest at the top.
Does it say anything about the armlet of Torog?
He carried it to the summit. It says he laid Sorrow's kiss upon it. Yes, Zugka. I'm certain it's kiss.
Sorrow's kiss? The same phrase from the fragment. Doesn't that sound so romantic, Stibbins?
Very sentimental, my lady. You sure that doesn't say Zugka?
Now, Stibbins, really, leave the translating to the experts. In the meantime, I must speak to our friend. Isn't this wonderful news? To protect his own tomb from looters and to ensure his legend among his people, Torog climbed to the summit, and he took his relics with him. Now, be a dear and go up there and retrieve the armlet of Torog for me. Ugh, haven't we been over this? I swear, sometimes I think you hear one word I say out of every 3. You're almost as bad as my manservant Stibbins. Of course. It's written in stone. The ancients never lied when they were chiseling words into stone, you know. The new museum will be the wonder of Tamriel with such a relic as the armlet of Torog in its collection. Hyperbole to keep undesirables from venturing up. And even if there's some modicum of truth to the tale, all you need to do is grab the armlet. Easy as eating a sweet roll. Now, the thin air might make you lightheaded, but you can handle that. I don't agree with Karsten about many of his orcish ideas, but on this point, we're in perfect alignment. The proper translation is Sorrow's Kiss. Now go and get the armlet while we see what other relics we can acquire for the museum. our friends have returned to their senses. Oh, I told you they weren't dead, Stibbins.
And look, that must be the armlet of Torog. I refuse to let you go through with your plan, Lady Laurent.
Really, Karsten, not that again. We clearly have more to discuss. Stibbins, see to our friends.
You missed all the drama while you were unconscious. Lady Laurent and our helpful orc had a dreadfully intense argument about the armlet of Torog. Oh, it was wonderful to watch. Well, it's the thin air up here, but whatever you did made the weather calm down, so we followed you up. That's when Karsten and Lady Laurent started arguing. Karsten thinks the shrine would be a better location to display the armlet than the museum. Oh, most indubitably. The museum hired her to acquire relics, and she hates to disappoint. Perhaps you could talk to them, help them reach a decision that gets us someplace warm. You better let me hold on to the armlet, just to be on the safe side.
I don't know what's gotten into Karsten. Why would anyone want to climb all the way up to the shrine to see an ancient relic when there's a perfectly quaint museum down in Orsinium? I would say so. The museum specifically tasked us to retrieve relics and bring them to Orsinium. History is meant to be admired, not left hidden in the past. Karsten's plan means I will have failed in my mission, and Lady Laurent never fails. If you insist. But please don't take too long. All this cold is doing terrible things to my poor, chafed lips.
I'm glad you recovered the armlet of Torog. But before you decide what to do with the relic, you need to hear what I have to say. So it would seem. This shrine stands as a tribute to our past glories. It reveals an age when orcs thought nothing of sacrificing dozens of warriors to build memorials to our strength. It sets the kind of example that the new Orsinium needs. The armlet of Torog should remain in his shrine. Make sure every orc climbs Sorrow to see it, to understand what our ancestors were capable of achieving. In this way, the relic will become a symbol to bind our people together. Surely you can see that. I knew you'd see it my way. Soon every orc will be able to make the pilgrimage to Torog's sacred shrine and gaze upon this important relic. You have done the orcs a great service today, my friend.
You sided with Karsten? After all we've been through?
It's been decided. Torog's relic stays in Torog's shrine.
The poor orcs have to climb up here to see a piece of their heritage? That's positively criminal.
Wait, what's Stibbins doing with the relic?
A little faster, Stibbins. I'm anxious to see what the relic actually does.
But, my lady, what if I'm not worthy?
Nonsense. We're not afraid of legends and superstitions, are we?
No, my lady. Of course not. Well, here goes nothing.
Oh, Stibbins. What did you do this time?
Maybe your manservant was right. Maybe it does say Sorrow's curse.
Stibbins always finds a way to turn the simplest task into an ordeal. I don't know why I let him accompany me on my adventures. But what about you? I can't believe you agreed with Karsten instead of me. And what am I supposed to tell the House of Original Galleries, or whatever it is the orcs call their museum? That they have an annex all the way up here? Wait a moment. That's a great idea! I'm a genius! You inspired me again, my faithful friend. Someone at the Mages Guild will help me thaw out Stibbins. It may take weeks to warm him up, but he'll be fine. This didn't turn out as planned, but it'll do. Lady Laurent, founder of the Shrine of Sorrow. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think? Give me a moment and I'll open a portal back to our base camp.
A portal? So why did we have to make that harrowing climb?
Teleportation is a delicate business. Can't just open a portal to some place I've never seen. careful! Don't crack my manservant. Honestly, you orcs approach everything like you're going to war.
Perhaps you'd like to carry him, Your Majesty. I'm a little worried about getting Stibbins back to the Mages Guild. Orcs don't have a word for fragile or handle with care.
I hope Karsten can get Stibbins back to the Mages Guild.
You can't lock us out of our
before
inn.
you help
That's
the enemies of our
tyrannical.
king. Now get out of my way before I toss you in a
Damn
cell, too.
soldiers and their damn rules and regulations.
Remember to check the list.